The car immediately set the mood with its design. It looks just as it feels on the road. Aggressive, sporty and sharp. Our car's configuration called Black Line, which features unique wheels, a black radiator grille, and no chrome on the exterior. Even all the badges are black as well. From my perspective, the Audi A3 Sportback has very beautiful proportions. The car looks extremely well balanced, whether viewed from the front, side or rear. And let's be honest, Audi has rarely had issues with design, unless, of course, we are talking about Audi A2. I also want to highlight the optics and its high-tech appearance. I know that the new Audi headlight style is controversial, but personally, I think it's the best looking among its competitors. When you start the car, both the front and rear lights greet you with a so-called dance, which, in my opinion, is an excellent feature in this segment. Of course, we must admit that the adaptive LED headlights are outstanding at night. They quickly and precisely carve out oncoming traffic, ensuring they don't blind other drivers. I found them to work even better than, for example, Mercedes IQ Light system. Okay, now let's talk about the car's dimensions. Audi A3 is a relatively compact car. The height is 1466 mm. The length is 4354 mm and the width excluding mirrors is 1816 mm. The wheelbase is 2630 mm. For comparison, the BMW First Series has a wheelbase of 2670 mm, while the Mercedes A-Class stretches to 2730 mm. This particular car is equipped with 1.5 petrol engine inline 4 with total amount of 150 horsepower and around 250 Nm of torque. The gearbox is 7-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox called S-Tronic. This combination is well known among owners of Skoda, Volkswagen, Seat and Cupra cars. However, in this particular model, I wouldn't call this powertrain a strong point. The other option is 2.0 TDI diesel engine from Volkswagen, which is well regarded considering its efficient power and torque. It has about the same amount of horsepower, like 150, but it has significantly more torque. Diesel engine is just much more better. It feels smoother, it's 50% more efficient on the highway, and it makes much less noises. And I'll explain why I think so when we get behind the wheel and take it for a spin. For now, let's take a look inside. The cabin greets us with the same color palette. Despite the sporty appearance of the interior, it's quite comfortable and well built. The car ergonomics are on a good level. I am of average height, like 1.77 centimeters, or I reckon it's 5'10". And after adjusting the settings to fit myself, yesterday I drove like around 800 kilometers without any issues. I made stops like every 200 kilometers, and I must admit that everything is really good. The visibility is decent, but could have been better if the engineers had made this pillar thinner. It takes up too much space. And as I mentioned earlier, the car comes in the Black Line trim, featuring seats made of a combination of synthetic leather and Alcantara. Our car has a mileage of 11,000 kilometers, and while it's hard to predict what the seats will look like at 100,000 kilometers, I believe they will retain their appearance for a long time. Overall, the quality of materials in the cabin are impressive. The entire dashboard is covered with Alcantara, and it even has a nice decorative stitch, and everything is soft and solid. The plastic on the upper part feels soft and pleasant, while the lower part is understandably hard. And why they made this plastic so cheap, I don't know. It feels like 30-year-old TV. The Audi MMI entertainment system remains unchanged. It's still fast and responsive. However, I can't call it intuitive. Some settings took me a while to find, while others, like disabling lane keeping assistance and steering support, I couldn't locate at all. Now let's smoothly move on to electronic assistance and active safety features. It feels like the car has everything except autopilot and seat massage. Blind spot monitoring, check. Lane keeping assistance, check. Steering support, check. Emergency braking, also check. As well as automatic parking. A special mention goes to the adaptive cruise control. It works perfectly, exactly as you'd expect it to. When approaching sharp speed limit signs, it warns you in advance and reduces speed before the sign, not after. Audi call this predictive technology, and it even allows you to adjust the reaction speed of this prediction. I'm not surprised by all of these features in Audi. I am surprised that they exist in one of the most affordable Audi, and that's pretty good. So now let's move to the rear seats. Despite the fact that I have some legroom and room for my head, the rear row is objectively small. It will be uncomfortable for 3 adults. Although the car is technically a 5-seater, I would rather consider it a 4-seater. Yes, the 5th seat physically exists, but comfort is compromised. The seats here are of the same quality as those in the front and are quite comfortable. The plastic in the back feels noticeably harder compared to the front, which has a more premium feel. The car has the shortest wheelbase in its segment, and I think the design is intended for children to sit in the back, hence the compromises. That said, I can sit comfortably behind myself, and I think everyone up to 185 centimeters tall will also have no issues at all here. So that's it. And now let's talk about the trunk. The trunk comes with an electric tailgate, and you can even open it like this. The trunk is reasonably spacious. If I'm not mistaken, it's 380 liters. And if you will fold the rear row, it will be 1200 liters in capacity. You can also fold down the middle seat for long items, such as skis, for example. The trunk is nicely lined with coupling, and in the lower compartment I expected a spare tire. No, it is not here. I think we covered the trunk, and now let's take a ride through this beautiful Spanish landscape together. Let's discuss the driving qualities in more detail. What is the most important thing in a car? For me, it's undoubtedly the suspension. Here, it's heavily sport-oriented, making it firm on poor and uneven road. And it's hard to find bad roads in Spain, but I managed. And I realized that Audi A3 is demanding when it comes to road quality. And yet, it handles speed bumps like any other normal car. However, the handling itself is far from ordinary. It's phenomenal, and you feel like you are driving not an Audi A3, but like Porsche 911, where others slow down before like sharp corners. This car sticks to the road like rails. and hearing the tire squeal is nearly impossible in this car. I don't know, it's like a train. The Audi A3 sedan holds the record as the fastest compact sedan on the Nürburgring, completing a lap in 7 minutes and 33 seconds. That's 5 seconds faster than, for example, the new BMW M2 and just 3 seconds slower than the mighty BMW M5 CS. If you value sporty driving, I think it's the best car in its class and with the best suspension, at least for me. Here though, we hit a paradox. The 1.5 TFSI engine does not suit this car. I mean, it's too weak to unlock the car's full potential on twisty roads, and it's just not economical enough. Like, at an average speed of 120 kilometers per hour or at around 70 miles per hour, I achieved 6.1 liter per 100 kilometers in the most economical way, with cruise control. And in comparison, diesel engine with better dynamics would consume just around 4.2 liters under the same conditions. So, you know, the gasoline engine also feels jerky and sluggish at low speeds, like below 40 kilometers per hour. It's not particularly pleasant in city driving. At high speeds, however, it performs flawlessly. If you are choosing between them, I'd recommend to spend extra 2,000 euros for the diesel engine. It's definitely worth the money, and it's just more fun to drive, it's more efficient, etc, etc, etc. Hence, let's talk about pricing and competitors. The starting price of the Audi A3 Sportback is 33,290 euros. For this amount, you get a 1.5 liter engine with 116 horsepower, paired with a 6-speed manual transmission and acceleration to 100 km in 9.7 seconds. The base package includes LED headlights, 16-inch wheels, black color and a fabric interior. However, it lacks adaptive cruise control and more advanced features like driver assistance systems and etc., which fortunately can be added as a different packages. Our model costs 44,155 euros. I configured similar Audi and also tried to match the BMW First Series and Mercedes-Benz A-Class to a like level of equipment. As a result, both models turned out to be approximately 10% more expensive than the Audi, which is a noticeable difference. Now I suggest to compare the rivals. Let's start with the design. Mercedes-Benz and Audi objectively look better than the BMW First Series. The design of the BMW appears too neutral and unremarkable on the road, and it's easy to confuse it with a car from another manufacturer. Audi with its aggressive lines and dynamic proportions look more sporty, while Mercedes-Benz stands out with elegance and a distinctive grille design. In terms of technical specifications, BMW offers an advantage with 170 horsepower, making it the most dynamic in this comparison. As for the interior, there is a parity. All three cars impress with high-quality materials, ergonomics and technology. In terms of technology, Audi and BMW are neck and neck, while Mercedes-Benz with its MBA UX system is beginning to feel a bit outdated. When it comes to lighting, Audi Matrix LED headlight remain the best in the class, providing superior illumination and additional safety features. The table presents the key difference between the models. You can pause the video and review it to better understand which car suits the best. To conclude, we have a stylish, dynamic and very high-tech hatchback. I was pleasantly surprised by its suspension and sharp handling. Yes, it's a bit stiff, but that won't be a big issue on European roads. On winding roads, you'll have a lot of fun. It's silly to expect Mercedes S-Class smoothness from such a car. At 120 km per hour on the highway, the cabin's noise insulation is decent. Wind noise is noticeable but not critical. tire noise is a bit louder, especially on rough asphalt, but this is to be expected from a hatchback in this segment. Technically, the car is top-notch. It has everything one could wish for. Driving modes, automatic parking, adaptive cruise control, matrix LED headlights with many diodes, and much more. The downsides: our car lacks heated and ventilated seats. Also, the rear cabin could be a bit larger and more premium. These minor issues are unlikely to deter potential buyers. All in all, is it a good car? Absolutely. Is it a technological car? Definitely. Is it the best hatchback? Well, that's MQB Evo platform. This is one of the best hatches on the market. And personally, I think this is the most balanced hatchback. If you prefer absolute sportiness, consider Audi A3 or RS3. Or if you want a compact car from the BMW, think about Mini S or Mini GCV. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or have suggestions, please share your feedback in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about Audi A3. Stay tuned for more exciting content, and I'll see you in the next one. Be safe.